now, if you haven't started already, we're well underway of the shooting season. Woohoo! Brilliant, excellent, good stuff. Now, there seems to be, or there always has been, a little bit of etiquette and hierarchy, or call it what you want, where over the years, and many hundreds of years, you get into a shoot if you're lucky enough to be invited, or potentially you've got an involvement in a driven shoot. What you would do is you would start off on the beating line, and personally I think that's great, because personally I think every dog should start off in the beating line, because it's great it's a great way to teach the dog brilliant foundational training. So what do I mean by that? We're healing off of a lead. You can't always have a lead on a dog because you're going through a really thick rhododendron bush, so you've got to have your dog to heel effectively on or off of a lead. Also, you've got to have a quiet dog. You can't have a dog that gets overexcited and starts yelping or yapping or whining, because he knows what's coming. He knows that it's a shoot day. He's really energized and really excited, and he knows what's just about to happen. And that excitement bubbles over, and then he starts whining and yapping and all that kind of stuff. You've got to have a quiet dog within the beating line. But more importantly, we're teaching these young dogs, or very inexperienced dogs, how to behave and what to do and what not to do in real life situations in relation to a flushing point. Now, for the non-gun dog people out there, or the non-shooting people out there, the flushing point is where the beaters corral the birds and the wildlife into an area, and very quickly you've got lots of birds milling around. Okay, that's the flushing point. Now, it's an old analogy. It's usually a spaniel, but never mind. And touch wood, it's never happened to me yet. However, if your dog is not steady and breaks through over excitement and then pushes into that flushing point, all the birds go up at once. Very unhappy gamekeeper, very disappointed team of guns. They've obviously paid a lot of money, and you and your dog have just ruined that entire drive. So in my opinion, you have to start off any young dog or any experienced dog in the beating line, because it's learning priceless skills within the real life environment, which once it's steady and once it's to heel and once it's got its head round impulse control and all that kind of stuff, then yes, potentially you can make the step up to join a picking up team, or you can make the step up to adding another dog, or building a pack yourself. So then you would progress on to being a picking up member of whatever shoot you're on. Now, I disagree with the stigmatism, really. If you're a picking up guy or a picking up girl, it's not a better role. It's not a more sort of affluent role, and all that kind of stuff. Beating is the bones of any good shoot. If you've got the best beating line in the world, that are switched on with great dogs, that are steady, calm, quiet, and not going to destroy any drives for you, that is what makes a good shoot. Not the fact if you've got 10 dogs sat here that look really great and they go out and pick things up. So, like everything, we need to expose young dogs and inexperienced dogs to the shooting field. Bangs. We want to have distance with shotgun. We don't want to chuck our young dogs straight into standing next to a shotgun. Bang. Before you know it, you've got a gun shy dog, and it's really difficult to overcome that psychological damage, because you now have a dog that is scared of noise. Okay, so distance again. But likewise, going back to being on the beating line again, you are going to have to acclimatize or give your dog an element of exposure to that. Okay, your dog is here, walking to heel nicely. Yeah, hold the line. Right. Okay. And in a typical or more traditional partridge driven day, you would have a flag and you would wave it and you would do all of this kind of stuff. Now, if your dog hasn't seen this or hasn't heard this, that could be quite daunting. It could be quite overbearing for a young dog to hear that. All right, may not pick it up on the mic or the camera. That's quite a loud crackle. But the white thing moving, your hand moving, all of this kind of stuff, blah blah blah. So think about what role you are starting off on, and do your very best to expose your young dog to as much as you possibly can, so you never ever end up in a situation where your first shoot or your second shoot, your dog's young and experienced, think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Speak to people. First day on the beating line, can you just tell me what I need to do? Of course I can, mate. No dramas. Okay. So think about quad bikes, tractors, of all of the elements of being in the countryside. But however, think about this as well. Because of the damage or the nervousness that you might create if you've got a young dog walking nicely to heel here.